little,
All right.
a little sip of water.
Yeah, you were recording.
Cut that. Alex, cut that.
Okay, hello. This is the breakdown of Drifting Dawn, which is track 2 of my album Inertia of Solitude. Track 3, sorry.
Track 3. Yeah.
Because 1 is the intro. Track 3! And it's with this guy over
Howdy.
there, Makay Sound.
Howdy. Yeah. What's up? What's
AKA
up, fam?
some unhoused person that I just found.
In Brooklyn. Yeah.
That's why he has ash in his hair. And demonetized.
And demonetized.
Anyway, this is an idea that we heard a Beeba Doobie and No Rum track, and we were like, what if we did that wall?
Then turned it into a dark garage banger. So shouts out Beeba Doobie.
Beeba Doobie.
Or as she says, is there like beat tag? Beeba Doobie.
Right.
Yeah. We start with the track. We should do a blast of the track just for anyone.
Okay.
Barely caught the train on the night we met. Now I'm drifting, eyes wide awake. I used to know your name, but now I forget. Need a minute for my own sake.
I think that's the sign in B section. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
If I remember correctly, it started with this section, and then you were like, "Bro, look at this," and then you did some thing with the mini log over here.
I think so. Yeah, the Model D, the little Model D bass. Yep, just that, just a little sawtooth doink. Yeah, the bass isn't really too. This is probably like one of the lighter tracks for your album as far as like the bass work goes. I feel like this was like really straightforward.
Only 10 tracks.
Yeah.
Most of them are off, though. And then that's interspersed by this thing that I put there.
Yeah, is that your cooker? Or what is that?
Yeah. That's like significantly tamed.
Yeah, versus like the Door City version. I think we have a cooker in there, too, that's like...
Yeah.
Saturated to hell.
Basically, it's just that preset, but I turned the drive down, so it's all noisy and soft. And some ST4B shouts out. Or stab, I guess you could call it.
I never made that connection. It's just ST4B.
I did, and then I heard Virtual Riot say it, and I was like, oh, I'm validated. Miss Reese. Pretty standard Reese. With some movement. This is because when you have Reese's puffs, the low end, as you can see, as I cut out more sides, it's still kind of messy. Just because of the chorus and whatnot. But we got rid of some of that by doing this. So this is a Reese's just two saw waves against each other, and then I took out the fundamental. So if I put that back in, it's now a saw wave. But if you take out the saw wave, then it does that, and then you can put it back in, and it's not stereo anymore.
How does he? Well, yeah, do we only have one oscillator on for this track? Interesting. Just two voices. Nice.
Something
simple.
really weird that I saw Imanu do is you to like increase the stereo if you were to say, because like without the chorus and not make it like super annoying, is to take a sine wave and just do this. So there's
okay, nice. Yeah.
Very interesting. But yeah, we went for the chorus approach.
Yeah, the standard, the classic.
Yeah. And then there's some like little fillers every once in a while, especially in the second drop.
Yeah, the bass didn't really need anything too spectacular just because there's a huge focus. I mean, obviously there's vocals on the track. Then like the drums, I would say have a lot more like effort and time put into them than the basses. And they really stand out. And then like all the cool like glitches and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fillers are literally just because there was like only a kick playing here. There you go. So we have this little thing. That patch looks like this. It's sync, which is like doing the same thing as if you were to FM it. Same kind of sound. I had this little. I was messing with Bode to add some stereo and bore it. Oh yeah, and we have this little thing in the.
Oh, that's the
intros.
Door City like square kind of bass. Yeah.
This is like purposely faking you out and making you think that it's in like the relative major key, because we're super creative like that.
I'm more of a note sounds good kind of musician. I'm not. I'm less about music theory. More of a note good here. Note good.
Also valid. Speaking of the drums, kick that we replaced like 45 times. We have some unhinged processing going on. Where we, instead of doing ascend, we have a parallel reverb on the drum bus.
I don't hate that method. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
It's
you know
nice
what?
because sometimes you try to like tweak something and then you like don't realize that it's going to the send and then you're like, oh fuck, now I need to go like maybe change this in the send or something too. I kind of do
Yeah.
like having it all on the bus, but it's chaotic for sure.
Yes, I've seen Culprit do this, so I mean, it's valid.
The only time it gets really annoying is towards the end of the project file when you've done this like 3 times on one group too, and you're like,
Why
just
is this
stop,
so
just
washy?
quit. Yeah, just quit, just don't.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, it's effectively doing ascend.
Yeah, that's really subtle. Damn, you need to like turn it up to hear that.
Yeah, I guess like
Yeah.
I do these days like convolution reverbs for drums too. It just sounds more natural.
Like
Just
it's
kind
in
of
a
like-
room. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
That's like the whole point.
Whoa.
And the processing is literally just like some glue with Saturn, a little bit of a high shelf, and a little bit of a side EQ. And then we did, or I put Wave Shaper at the end just to blast it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And some clipping. As you do.
Yeah.
Dekeek
Certainly.
is this. It's a kick of mine. This is the, I think this is the, no, this is the one that I made. This isn't the Astral Wandering kick. It sounds like that. And then a kick transient, and another kick transient. I don't know what we did too, but okay.
Kicking.
Yeah. This from hell.
Amusement park ass EQ.
Yeah. Saturn. Some EQ. ST4B. And then AP Shaper, which is my favorite for clipping kicks. It also makes it extremely blown out. At like toward the end of the process of writing the track, we added this little reverse right here. So like in the breakdown when it comes in, it does this. Whoa.
Yeah, it's so funny because when I first started producing, like literally fucking 8 to 10 years ago, and like found out about doing that, I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, and now here's a song where every kick has a reverse kick going into it, and then like
Yeah.
a year passes, and you're like, that was the dumbest thing ever. I'm never no, I'm not ever doing that again. And then 10 years pass, and you're like, it's actually pretty smart to reverse the kick. And
I'll put that one down in my diary. This is some of the coolest drums we've ever done, I think, or I've ever done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have the AOL sample in here, don't we?
Did you? I don't even remember what you put here.
I thought I sent you one of them. One of them might be the AOL door creaking sample.
Okay, so it sounds like this, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that last one.
Yeah. Okay, so the ones that you sent over to me are this. I'm cutting that out. So that's this.
No, maybe not that. Maybe the one before that has it
There's
in there.
this one.
I'm not sure. I think that's the AOL door shutting on that one. I'm not positive, but I think it might be.
It kind of does sound like it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this like one pack that I found. I wrote Burialing because that was the idea to copy Burial Archangel. Well, now, but it does this, and it's literally all from this one. This percussion is called Angel, from this one pack, and then it's like ST4B, codec, which was your
Yeah,
idea.
codex based.
That was a big idea. Phase Mistress. I don't remember what this is. Oh, this is just tilt shelving it. Transient shaper, and then like the meat of it is this convolution reverb.
Yeah.
So it makes it sound like Burial Archangel.
Yeah,
No.
codex really solid too. I like it more than Lossy now, to be honest, and it's free, so
Yeah.
free plugin.
So like without it, and then with it,
you can just hear
very
just degrades the sample quality.
crunchy
Yeah.
drums, and then clipped. And then there's two more. Wow, that's fun.
Yeah.
So then together, that's like. And that's like basically the gist of it. And then over here, doubles.
The reason it works so well on the track is just that it's like this crunchy, degraded, sloppy rhythm, and then it's over a very textural, atmospheric, and kind of like shimmery background, and so that contrast just plays well with the elements play well with each other in that contrast. I guess, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Indeedy, I agree. Percussions. I think this is literally either Imanu or Medicine. Oh no, this is flattened down from like 4 things, is what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because as you can see, this project has 126 channels.
Yeah, classic, average.
So it
average
was more.
Makay project.
Yeah, real. And some hats.
Really subtle. Wow.
Yeah. It adds though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then this thing that I did, which is like chaotic as hell. So we have this clap, which is like several layers. There's this clap, this, and then this hand clap. Together it sounds like. And then for some automation, I wanted to do some dubby whatever, so I took a delay and I just automated the time and the percent. And it's pitching down because it's on repitch.
So intense. Such an intense effect.
The last one, though, was like...
Yeah.
That's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, and that flows into, I believe there's a Foley
Yeah.
sample that I have there that starts playing that's like slowed down thunder.
Yeah.
So like the clap goes into that, which is pretty interesting.
Thunder.
Or fireworks. Maybe fireworks. Yeah, there you go. Slow down fireworks too. I got the fireworks idea from John Hopkins. I think he mentioned doing something like that.
The guy.
For sure. Yeah.
And of course that
Classic.
radio sample that you took.
Yeah.
Which is like all over.
It's all over the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Shout out.
Just a random like afternoon during COVID. It ended
was
up being
such
like
a,
a key thing for your album.
It was such like a. You got to do that again, but I don't know if it'll be the same because like COVID.
It was perfect
radio.
timing. Yeah, all the radio is just doom.
Yeah. Man, that thing was unhinged.
Yeah, there's some unhinged shit in there.
So we got. This is sort of like the Latin offbeat thing that we're doing with the tom, which is just 2 toms layered together. Processing is not super important. It's just distorted and then ST4B. Wow.
The hat thing's so funny. The hat that pitches down, or the ride.
Yeah, I totally actually forgot that we did that, but I can hear it now.
Yeah, me too. Until I was like listening to a song recently.
Is that this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this noise hat.
It plays for 2 bars, like a couple semitones up, and then pitches down 2 semitones, and then switches back and forth.
I guess it makes it sound like it's pitching down because of this phaser.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I feel like that pairs nicely too because the track is so there's such an emphasis on the A to B structure. So then within that A to B structure, have like something that's changing A to B like ever so slightly. It kind of just works in a way that kind of echoes the bigger idea, and it's a very minor detail, but it works well in context. And
Yes.
kind of goofy to just pitch your ride down every 2 bars and then pitch it back up, but it works.
Yeah. The drum pattern, too, is like itself a sort of A to B within the micro A to B.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have this like more open kick pattern. which is like, and then
Yeah, true.
so it's more like AABA. And then in the, I guess in like the last A, we have this little, which this was a really good idea. You put phase mistress on this because it originally was just like, which
Yeah,
is
way too sterile.
yeah, pretty standard like low offbeat snare thing, but then like yeah, and
So
it's
much more
random.
life. Yeah. Yeah, it has like a decently high rate too, so the phase is in a totally different place by the time that next one comes around, even though they're like right next to each other.
Yes, 100% oh. And then like frozen hats. I could show you the processing, but I'm not going to because I'm not gonna go find it. I'm 90% sure that's a medicine sample.
This is just the process of literally working on a track for 5 years and having a drum idea you like, and then being like, after a year or
Yeah.
two, being like, let me clean this up and refine it, and then like add
No,
more shit on
literally,
top
though.
of it, and doing that like 3 or 4 times. So
Yes.
that's why they're just consolidated down there as hats. So then there's all this other nuanced shit
Yeah.
above it.
And there's still 20 channels.
Yeah.
If you have more questions about drums, do ask because I don't want to go over every little thing. That would take forever.
Yeah.
Just to give some more context again, just because we were micro focusing on these drums, it sounds like. And that was really the purpose of this tom, is it's like a lower driven thing, because without it, it's so sparse. Yeah.
And could still work. It's just a different vibe, a lower energy vibe for sure. And
Yeah.
we were like trying to really bring the energy here, build the energy
Yeah.
up.
Especially because this part's like,
Soft,
yeah. I saw it, dude. I guess we should go over the instrumental layers.
Yeah, there's
This
a lot
one
here
has,
in the
like,
synths.
A million layers, dude.
Yeah, a bunch of weird contact instruments on this one too.
Yeah.
Contact
that
instruments and mini log.
Yeah. Contact instruments that I still can't get to work. Well, now.
Yeah, this thing's called like Paradox Lost or something. I don't even know how I found it. It's just a
Square
a
pluck.
sine, square pluck that's distorted.
It's nice. You can see down here, there's like a reverb, an EQ, and soothe, and that's about it. We got this thing. I could not recreate that.
I wonder what that is. I
It
wonder
sounds
if
like
that's
a.
Stray Light or Arcus.
It sounds like
could
an
be one of the
alien
two.
sitar or something.
Yeah, it might be Stray Light. It might be Stray Light.
Yeah, and then that's layered with this. So much texture.
Yeah.
This was added way later on, and it's kind of like a counter to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally named it counter melody. Square pluck. With the pinch envelope, as you do.
With some more attack. Yeah.
Yeah. And then at some point I made a reverse reverb for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's like it's rolling into it. And then we have this little thing.
Harry Potter ass sound.
Yeah, you could write a track around this too, to be honest.
Certainly.
There's so many like little things in this track.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in that transition too that I like. That was on my mini log, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
this is from Omnisphere.
What is this?
Yeah, I forget which patch, but I froze it for you. But it's just
Oh,
like
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, it is
a
that.
Jupiter filter opening thing, and then we did the reverse thing again. So it sounds like. Very G. Jones, very Blade Runner.
Yeah, for sure. There's another thing I'm thinking of that I don't know if it's in this group. Maybe it's in the Atmos group. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have this whole group.
The 46 chords. Those were that was
Yeah.
one of my favorite touches of the track, and it's really subtle in the background, but
Yeah,
that's the real G Jones shit.
this is very G. Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole entire
Um,
Manila group. Just throw in a bunch of texture. This is very like indicative, I feel like, this track of some of our older workflows, but in a modern sense because of the way that we arranged it.
Yeah, and it's all been cleaned up and stuff. But yeah, like a lot
Yeah.
of my idea generation, especially in the past, has been just recording a bunch of random shit and then trying to piece it together and resample it and see if there's something that comes out of it. And this would have been
Yeah.
me doing exactly that for sure.
And all these are like this. Which is why these tracks end up being like 128 channels or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, only for this to be like a small detail and a breakdown now, but it makes the track really nuanced when it
Yeah.
adds replayability, refining these details so much and not just being like, okay, this is good, I'll just have this be front and center for the whole fucking duration of the song.
Yeah. In context, that sounds like.
It's so subtle, but it's so much breath and life happening there.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that vocal.
Yeah, the OG.
Yeah, this is like. We originally chopped up this splice vocal. But now I'm on a vendetta against using splice vocals in your songs.
Yeah.
Because then you hear it in another
likewise.
song. Yeah.
It is crazy how much that's happening these days. A song will blow up and then you hear like I don't know if it's intentional or what. It has to be to some degree. You'll hear people use the sample of the song that just blew up in their track, and then people are like, is this a remix or whatever? And it's like,
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too much.
And make it stop.
Yeah.
You did make some cool chops out of it, though.
That are muted. Yeah. This probably would have just been Portal, me fucking with the VST Portal.
Yeah. There's a little Easter egg in here somewhere. A legal Easter
That we cannot,
egg.
yeah, we cannot talk about.
Maybe you can see it.
Yeah, maybe you can see it somewhere.
This is a late edition too.
We do a little crime.
I definitely stole that for a different track. And this. I feel like that's a good use of splice samples because the only people that hear that are like producers.
Yeah. And it's not a main element, it's like to support main elements.
Yes.
You know?
On the topic of texture of these guitars, this is also contributing to the like fake out music theory major relative thing that
Yeah, the real Goo Goo Dolls ass guitars, it's just like suspended chords.
Yeah, what was even the tuning for this? It was like something insane.
I can find it. It's absurd. It's in our chat somewhere. You can break them down more and I'll look it up and tie it back in here.
So we got double track guitars. We really wanted that strummy tone, so we emphasized the high mids anyway by saturating the shit out of it. And then on the group, I'm pretty sure we EQ'd it up. Yeah. And then he glitched them out for the drop.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. I still don't even know how I did all that, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's a crazy texture.
Yeah, it was a lot of resampling. A lot of resampling with plugins, and then I think like bouncing it to audio and then using like Ableton's sampler to chop everything up and play it on like probably like a keyboard. Maybe I had my push at that time. It was probably a keyboard. I was probably just chopping it up just with my keyboard and then taking the bits that I liked a lot. But it was a lot of detail there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then ended up like, I mean, like without it, it sounds like.
Yeah, so that's like, that is the movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason it works so nice over the top of that is because the chords are so ambiguous, so you can move the bass line around it, and it doesn't sound like a shitty, I don't know, chord or progression or something, because it's just so loose, I guess.
Yeah, and I think like by nature of it be like da na na, that's just like root fifth over and over again. I think that like adds to the ambiguity of this bass, which I just find so satisfying. Where it's like this with these.
Yeah.
Like you'd think it's in a different key, but then the drop hits and it's like.
Did I find it? Okay, I did find it. The tuning was E flat, B flat, E flat, F, B flat, F.
Jesus.
So yeah, I think it was one of those.
That is.
And then we pitched everything down a semitone too.
We did.
At some point. So
Yeah. Yeah, because it's in
but
E. No, it's in D.
oh, and it was right after I watched Treasure Planet again. So there you go. That's Goo Goo Dolls on the soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
That's
Fire.
actually crazy.
Piggybacking off the guitar thing, we could show drop 2, the guitar chops. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah, the guitar and drop
That's a
2
pretty big
went
detail.
wild crazy.
With it might be glitches.
Yeah,
I'm not
there's
sure.
an entire. He like went. I just froze this down, but like
Yeah.
this is like an entire set of things that's going on. But like this.
Yeah, it's like what I did in the first drop with resampling guitar and then chopping it up, probably using I don't know, just Ableton sampler. It's doing that, but again, and making it even glitchier and incorporating, I think, some like little vocal samples in there too. So it was a lot of resampling and refining here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that is this. There was even more before it was frozen. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I'm pretty
a lot
sure some of
detail
that
there.
is like down here somewhere with all this.
Yeah, probably. All this resampling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
you're
if I
welcome.
play this or something.
This is why the project file is 1 billion gigabytes, probably.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Just do
Yeah, so this is what happens when you just add way too many plugins to something.
Yeah, but
then
just
record it.
enough.
Yeah. What is it? I don't
Oh,
know,
this?
Saturn patch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
so
froze
this-
that down, unfortunately, but yeah.
No. I can get this. So if you just go to the guitar group, just go to the 29 guitar group and pull up a Saturn. Okay, now go to
Right. So then when we
the
play
presets.
here,
Yeah.
we starting with this.
Yeah, this should work. That should work. Yeah, now go through the presets, and I think it's under effects. It should be called smear.
Smear.
Smear. Yep. It's literally just this patch that's doing all the work there. Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Wow. So I found this really weird Saturn preset. Gets wonky. And put it over the guitar, and that's making the guitar in drop 2, or the B section of both drops. If you want to go back to that. they
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out Saturn for that. The smear preset.
Yeah.
Goated.
That's how you do glitches in current year.
That
Yeah.
stood out so much. It was just such a cool moment that I literally remember the preset name because I was like, wow, this is everything. This is all we needed here.
Maybe I should steal that from you, Lol.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't actually. But that's a
What
good
the-
joke.
Yeah, and then the vocals, I guess.
Yeah.
This was a lot of processing, not because they were bad.
Yeah. True.
They were bad by
Please.
themselves. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But because we were trying to get a really specific sound out of it, and I'm really particular about how vocals sound.
Yeah,
So
we were
like
definitely
this-
going for a little bit of that distorted, no roam kind of sound, but
Yeah.
then not making it too hyper poppy. So it's hard to toe
Yeah.
that line a little bit.
Or a throwback British invasion.
Yeah.
Turn all this off. This was a lot. So we got this.
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
It's not even
Whoa.
bad. Cut the lows.
A little bit.
A DS. A gem dopamine right away. And mind you, I was processing this into this 2A. So like
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
it already sounds pretty good. A high amount of saturation.
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
And that's where we're getting the grid from, or at least
Yeah.
starting to get it, especially saturating after gem dopamine. Like that's why the whole high end is gritty
Yeah.
now.
And splitting it. Like if you don't, then
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
it just does
Yeah,
that.
too muddy.
But
Yeah.
that's the trick.
Barely caught the train.
A micro shift to make it even messier. With a vocal doubler to make it messier.
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
A soothe because it was getting annoying up there. This. which was necessary because we were distorting it so much.
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
And now it sounds like blown out and hyper poppy without it being way too bright, which is sick.
Or frail. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is just to catch peaks,
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
so it processes properly.
Yeah. When you like saturate properly instead of just distorting it, you actually retain a lot of weight. And,
Yes.
Which is, yeah.
This EQ is also doing a lot of work.
Barely caught the train on the night we met.
And I'm doing the EQ saturation on this. I have it on linear, but I probably should have put it on excited.
Barely caught the train on the night we met. Now
So that it's boosting the high end and like smushing all of those harmonics together.
All right. Re-release the song. The Drifting Dawn 2.
Dang
with
it.
only this adjustment.
Obviously we did these doubles that are more distorted than I normally do.
I was wide awake.
Same kind of deal. We just Saturned the hell out of it, but I didn't split it this time because I wanted it to be more distorted.
I was wide awake.
I'm wide awake.
Am I awake? Some harmonies.
For my own sake.
Same thing.
Damn. That's real hyperpop.
Yeah. We have an octave in the drop. I don't remember if this is up or down.
I'm alive, but I'm reeling.
Up.
And that's
just to
Porter.
make it.
That was actually Porter Robinson. We didn't want to
Yeah.
tell you guys, but that was Porter on that
It
one.
was. Over here he says something comforting. And then, yeah, that just adds like, I don't know how to describe it other than like extra pang. So it sounds very super forward. So like if I turn it off,
I'm alive, but I'm reeling. You touch me when I'm feeling.
that's nice. But then this is like very super in your face.
I'm alive, but I'm reeling. You touch me when I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's still such a subtle detail. Like it's not overshadowing the vocal at all. It's just supporting that high end.
Yeah. And I think that may have been an EQ thing. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh. And then 3 million adlibs.
Yeah. This was fun.
This was him with his adlibs. We got this. We got this. It sounds like a splice sample pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turned out pretty good. This was so funny because I had sent some rough ones just for placeholders at first. I was like, oh, here's some like bullshit we can mess with, and then you put them all in, and I was like, oh, now I need to actually go through and make sure I actually like all these, and then I sent you
Yeah.
20,000 revisions of adlibs.
Yeah.
It's like actually that one. Can you make sure the delay pitch is down a little bit at
Especially over here.
3 minutes and 20 seconds? Yeah.
That's why there's 2 adlib channels.
Yeah. You're
Because
welcome.
we got these over here.
Now I'm drifting.
Me when I turn into 21 Savage.
Oh, right. That's the Travis Scott one.
Yeah, Travis Scott over here.
Yeah.
We got 3 features on this track.
Yeah. The Porter Robinson and Travis Scott collab everyone's been asking for.
So true. Yeah, I think that's like basically it. If you done anything else.
Yeah, maybe I'm just solo the Atmos and crank that up. We can hear what's going on there. I don't think we were really in that group. I know one of them just
Yeah.
field recordings.
We got these.
Some Paul Stretch stuff too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah.
Shout out Paul.
Yeah. Shout out Paul.
If
Yeah,
you
that
don't
would
know
have just
what
been
Paul Stretch
resampling
is.
the whole track.
Yeah. If you don't know what Paul Stretch is, look it up.
I actually have a video on it, so maybe you could check that out. There you go.
Whoa.
Wow. And I think there's more field recordings in the breakdown in a different group here at the
There
bottom.
is,
In like
somewhere.
the effects group,
Yeah.
probably.
In
Yeah.
build 2. Yeah, that's what the radio
Yeah,
is.
fireworks and stuff. Radio. Yeah.
Are
A
these
lot
fireworks?
of field recordings. Yep.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're pitched down fireworks.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Now you just got to get like a vinyl and put a lamp over it and whatever
Dude, I
that
have no
was.
idea what he was doing there. It sounded good. Whatever was happening, it sounded good. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Noise
okay.
noise
That's how you
musician.
make house music, I guess. What the?
Yeah.
Uh,
Analog resampling. But yeah, I guess that really is everything. Analog guitar. It's when you see these individual details, it definitely isn't as I don't know, crazy or in depth as it may feel. It's just a lot of like micro adjustments and attention to detail, but it's not I don't know. There's nothing groundbreaking happening here. Like
Yeah.
one of the main parts of the B section of the drop is just a Saturn preset on a guitar. Like it's
Mhm.
it's nothing crazy. It's just a lot of years spent on details here.
Yeah. It's like what? It's like create your own layers, but instead of it being like, oh, I pulled in this loop from Splice or whatever, we made it ourselves.
Yeah, it really was just making our own sample pack for this whole entire song
Yeah,
essentially.
pretty much.
Um, but it's a
We
fun. I
should
mean, it's
like,
a fun way that goes. Like, there's a lot of replayability when you do this, and you have all these individual details that are just tucked away in small sections. It does reward the listener to hear it more.
yeah, we should like cut all these together and just sell them all.
Yeah, just us, just our splice pack is just
Yeah.
this track. Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Hey, if you would be interested in the samples here, drop a comment, and maybe we
Yeah.
will do that. That is it. Go stream the song. Just go stream
Yep.
the song, and if you
And
want to know anything else here, shoot us a message, drop a comment. We're both pretty attentive on socials, so yeah.
yes, or in Discord or whatever.
Inertia Solitude. Let's go.
Yeah, that's an album. That is out
That
too.
is an album. That is an album. So, well, thank you to anyone checking this out, and take care. Have a good one.
Yep. See ya.
Yeah, bye.